What is up, guys? This is Marcus speaking from Wave Trader Crypto. Hope everyone is doing great. Thank you for tuning in because we have loads of things to discuss, guys. Loads of things. So, enough waffling for now. Let's dive in the charts straight away because BTC USD has been moving, well, quite mad, if you ask me, because there were some things that we foresaw that was going to happen, and unfortunately did not happen. And I personally took a minor loss as well. As I told you guys, I would open my initial position if we cross this high right here, because that is the safest. And actually I was willing to risk it to buy. I bought somewhere over here. I bought about 10% of my initial input, what I would have put up there, and I put the stop loss obviously at the low here, and it crossed through. Now, is there reason to panic? No. Well, not yet. Not yet, let me phrase it like that. Because, as we can see, because we crossed here, but obviously there's a reaction, and with current, the FOMC rates up, and the press conference going on right now as we speak, we can see that we have a certain reaction here. Now, the reason why I would say is that it's not fully invalidated yet, and we would have to show this trading range right here, and why I still have a certain amount of hope we're still gonna reach there is because if we go on a daily, higher time frame, even the 8 hourly, I believe, or no, 12 hourly as well, we can clearly see that it swept this low. So it's not a very confident candle closure below. That would obviously mean that we're definitely going to the downside, and there's still a very big chance that we would go. And the only reason why I would think otherwise, if we cross this high, so no more risky moves of buying early as I did there. But obviously, with all the confluence going on back then, it was a safe thing to do. Well, the only thing that I already told you guys on the Dusty Twitter as well, on the Dusty Telegram group, is because of this massive move. This is not a very characteristic move of a correction, but rather an impulse to the downside. Now, obviously, you might say, yeah, this could be A, B, C, a very shortened move, and this would be C. So one could say, yeah, it's actually something like this. Now, yes, it could be like this, but even if it goes beyond B, I'm not going to buy. I would still open up my position if we cross here. And what it would mean is that we have a very sweeping 1, 2. So it went under, but it swept and went above straight away. It is very rare, extremely rare, but it can happen. So that is the only option I have left for a bullish BTC. And if this scenario doesn't play out, guys, then unfortunately I would have to change the current wave count, and the way it would go a little bit differently. Now, another scenario I also want to talk about, which is still bullish, I almost forgot to mention, is that we could make a small change to the current wave count. And how it would end up looking like is the following. It's the following is that we still keep this 1, 2, 3, and then instead of having 4 here, we would say A, B, and a shortened C. That would mean that we have 4 ending here, and wave 5 actually not ending here, but ending on where B is at right now. Let's remove this yellow marker just for now, and the ABC can be removed as well. That would mean that we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be the ending of wave 1, meaning that this is not the current A, B, and C, because obviously we crossed through here. Now, like I told you guys, it's still possible that this could be C, but it's just extremely unlikely, like I said. But what's more likely is that this is in fact 1, and then we ended A all the way over here because we had this clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is still very clear and very valid. Now, obviously, you don't know if it's bearish or bullish, but I mean, if it's like a bearish impulse to the downside or just a bearish correction, now we would only know if we really cross through this low, because then it is all over and we will see tragic numbers going deep into 14 or 13 and even to 12k, as a matter of fact. But I still have a certain amount of hope that, in fact, this would be the ending of wave 2, and wave 2 would make up this 1 and then 2 and then the impulse. It's an alternative wave count, obviously. So what it would mean is that we have an ABC going like this. We would have a finish of A, B, and then C, and then obviously I will make it a bigger ABC to make it clear for you guys. Just like this. So we have 1, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing correction A. Then we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or in this case you could also say like, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. It's not very clear in that regard. And then C actually goes lower than A, or actually the same area, and it quickly swept A, and that's why I'm still hopeful, you guys. I'm still hopeful, because normally this happens when you finish an A, B, C correction. C usually is a big chance that it actually sweeps the low of A, and then it ends, and then it starts pumping from there on. Now, obviously, then I'm still going to buy at this area if we cross here, because then it is clear and valid that this is in fact A, B, C. Now, let's say this scenario doesn't play out, you guys. Then there is a tragic change in the entire structure over here. That would mean that this would all stay valid. Now, the only thing that won't be valid is that this will stay 1, 2, and then a subwave, a very long one. So that would mean 1, 2, and then a subwave of the bigger 3, meaning we have, let's actually show you guys so you understand what I mean. Subwave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we make it a smaller degree. So this would be 1, 2. It's actually not smaller, by the way. There we go. We make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then wave 3 would end there. Now, if wave 3 ends here, that would mean that this is actually in fact wave 4, and then the finishing wave 5 is probably going to end somewhere in this area over here, if this is in fact a continuation of the bearish correction of the bigger structure of Bitcoin, which occurred once we reached this high of 68k approximately. That would mean that the final bit of price that we would see before we see the bullish response to the upside that we have been waiting for would be somewhere here. And why? Because this would mean that it's 3, 4, and then this would be 1, 2, and then an impulse down, 3, 4, and somewhere 5 would be ending in this degree over here. Now, this scenario of me changing the entire wave count like this is not valid yet, so I will change it. I will just keep it the way it is right now, because we still haven't crossed this low over here, and I'm hopeful we do not. And that simply the adjustment I made here of making the first impulse correction A, B, C is in fact the correct wave count, and that we will still see this bullish move from these levels, because like I said numerous times, guys, I would find it very, very hard to believe that we will in fact see this zone break. Now, of course, you could extend it just a little bit like this, then it would make sense. It would make this 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and then 5 would be still in the zone because you have this candle over here, yeah, right? But then it would be a very, very short wave 5, which is in my opinion not very likely. But even if this scenario plays out, guys, it's just gonna take us a little more time and a little more stress resistance, because obviously you will see your portfolio go a little more down if you're still holding from, maybe you bought somewhere here on 40k or 60k even, and you might be holding, of course. It's a hard thing to do, seeing Bitcoin go down all the way, and obviously it's a patience game, you guys. So I will keep this zone where it is right now, like that, and we will simply wait. Losing is part of the game as well, you guys. And like I said, I lost about 10% of my initial position, which is not that much, but it's still a loss, so you have to deal with it on a mental level. Now, obviously, I gave you guys 3 options. Like I said, this was not a very nice characteristic of a correction, so I told you guys, yes, you could risk buy here, but do it with a small portion of your initial position, or you wait for a proper ABC, which didn't really happen because I don't see a proper ABC here. Like, I just drew it here, but it's not very proper. Or you wait for the high here, which is in fact still the safest move, and I hope many of you indeed either open a very small one here, or as a matter of fact, I hope most of you, like I did myself, waited with the main portion of your position until we open up a candle above this area. So yeah, for now, guys, let's wait and see. The only way you could still open your buy if we cross through here, because then this ABC would be valid. If not, no problem, just sit on your hands. If we cross through this low, obviously I will change the whole subwave count, and I will talk about it indeed. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I will also keep you up to date with updates on Twitter and obviously in the Dusty BC Telegram chat. So yeah, guys, take care and good night.